Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck him. And everybody in the crew, I mean, with him.
Tank stopping a lot of people. You know, probably felt like, man, we fought when we were some little kids.
Right.
Man, I'm about to knock you out.
Gervonta Tank Davis has recently criticized Terence Bud Crawford, labeling him a fool for pursuing a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Davis questioned Crawford's motivations, suggesting financial gain as the primary driver. Following Tank's comments, British sports promoter Eddie Hearn gave his opinions on the fight. While Hearn acknowledged that Crawford is a generational great with exceptional skills and talent, he doubted Crawford's ability to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Hearn stated that despite Crawford's remarkable abilities, he doesn't believe Crawford would be able to overcome the power, size, and experience of Canelo in the ring.
One weight class. 68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit concerned, having spoke to him in the past, that if he beats a guy that's coming up from 147 to 168, is he really going to get the respect for that?
Meanwhile, adding fuel to the discussion, Canelo praised Terence Crawford. He said that Crawford is a great fighter and he likes his fighting style, but he tends to move a lot. Canelo added that he prefers an aggressive brawl in the ring. He stated, "For me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money." Canelo further says that Terence thinks fighting in a heavier weight class is easy because he is talented, but the reality is far from it.
He's a very good fighter. I like how he fights, but that's why there are weight classes.
Yeah.
And he knows now.
He knows now. You think he felt that?
Yeah.
On the flip side, Alexander Usyk has openly expressed his support for Terence Crawford in the potential showdown against Canelo Alvarez. As a friend of Crawford, Usyk not only voiced his confidence in Crawford's abilities, but also added a touch of humor, calling him a crazy man. In addition, he stated Terence would win against Canelo due to his technical abilities.
Wow.
Friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And a switch hitter. He's a switch hitter.
Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very, very, very smart.
Echoing that intrigue, Tyson Fury weighed in on the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it a compelling matchup. He praised the skill and accomplishments of both Canelo and Crawford, labeling them as elite-level competitors. The heavyweight champion also noted his own interest in the bout, revealing he would be more than willing to purchase the pay-per-view to witness it unfold.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I think, listen, everybody can do what they want to do, and if they believes in himself, then go for it. Why not? I think he's an awesome fighter. Both of them are. Both of them are exceptional fighters, and I would be one of the people paying for a pay-per-view to watch it.
Is the skill level of Crawford equalize the weight, in your opinion?
I think if they fought, they'd obviously be the same weight, would they not?
Yes.
So
Crawford going from 47 to 68.
maybe he would bring Canelo down to 60 or 54 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. I like both fighters. Both very different skill fighters in their own ways.
In a surprising show of support, Errol Spence Jr. threw his backing behind Terence Crawford in a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Despite their heated rivalry in the past, Spence made it clear he'd be rooting for Crawford if the fight happens. While he didn't make any bold predictions about the outcome, Spence said he's definitely riding with Bud, win or lose.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah. But no,
He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
As tensions rise, Terence Crawford didn't mince words when talking about Gervonta Davis, making it clear he's not a fan. Crawford said there's something about Tank's personality that rubs him the wrong way, calling him an arrogant little dude. While he gave Davis credit as a solid fighter, Crawford made it clear that when it comes to Tank's attitude and the way he carries himself, he's not feeling it at all.
Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Not one to stay silent, Gervonta Davis fired at Terence Crawford, dismissing him as a hater and questioning the criticism coming from those who don't know him personally. Davis took issue with individuals forming opinions without any direct interaction, pointing to Crawford as an example of someone casting judgment despite never having a personal relationship with him. The lightweight star made it clear he's unfazed by outside opinions, especially from those he believes are speaking without genuine insight.
When people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a him. If everybody is cool with him, I mean, with him.
Doubling down on his stance, Davis took another jab at Crawford, claiming that financial motivation is the real reason behind Crawford's pursuit of a fight with Canelo Alvarez. According to Davis, the driving force behind Crawford's interest isn't legacy or competition, but the lucrative payday that comes with facing one of boxing's biggest stars.
Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
You think he had a chance to win? But what makes you say that? I mean...
He needs the money. I'm telling you.
Does he have a chance to win though?
Top Rank ain't paying like that, and they ain't playing like that.
So you don't
see they ain't paying like that.
He's going up three to four weight classes. You think the chances of him?
That's why he say why he don't like me. That's the real shit.
Going up those weight classes to face him. How can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter.
To deepen the controversy, Gervonta continued to cast doubt on Crawford's spotless run, expressing surprise that the undefeated star has managed to go unscathed while moving through multiple weight divisions. While acknowledging Crawford's skill, Davis pointed to past moments, like getting caught by Yuriorkis Gamboa, as a reason to question how Crawford has remained untouched in recent years. He raised eyebrows by suggesting something may be off, referencing snack nutrition and drawing parallels to the notorious Balco scandal of 2005, which involved current Snack CEO Victor Conte. Davis didn't hold back, alluding to Conte's past legal troubles as part of his broader suspicion surrounding Crawford's dominant form.
This guy is great at what he do. And another thing, bro, I don't be wanting to, how these guys is, then he get hurt against,
Madrimov?
Who?
There you talk about Crawford got touched by Madrimov? Is that what you said?
No, he got clipped by Gamboa, right?
Yeah.
Right? What the fuck is he's looking this strong over the past year. These years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So that's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Y'all laugh. I'm telling you. And that guy that a part of it, he been caught. He went to jail for it.
In defense of his career decisions, Terence Crawford responded to Gervonta Davis's claims by addressing the financial realities of the sport, stating that as professional boxers, earning money is a fundamental part of the game. He made it clear that chasing big paydays is not unusual, but rather a necessary aspect of a fighter's career. Crawford dismissed the notion that seeking a bout with Canelo Alvarez is solely about the paycheck, emphasizing that financial rewards come hand in hand with taking on the biggest challenges in the sport.
What's going on with you and Gervonta?
If I'm a boxer, he a boxer, you a boxer, we all need the money.
I ain't doing it for free.
I'm just as confused as you. I said, huh? I was just like, oh, that's crazy.
Crawford didn't stop there as he clapped back at Gervonta Davis, throwing some sharp shots about Tank's recent fight with Lamont Roach. Crawford called out Davis for pulling stunts in the ring, pointing to the moment he took a knee. Furthermore, Crawford said that even without that knockdown, Davis still came up short and didn't do enough to beat Roach.
And Steve Willis a great referee.
He is.
And he started counting, then stopped
it.
Like, they said, hey, you better stop counting. Oh.
Wow.
Hey, don't do that again.
You, being a boxing aficionado, you think Gervonta won that fight?
No. I don't think he won without the knockdown. You know, I thought it was a close fight, you know, but I would have gave the edge to Roach. He fought a great fight. Gervonta fought a great fight as well, but I just think he was overconfident.
Offering a more analytical take, the Wade concept addressed the talk around Terence Crawford's size, pointing out that many people make too much of a fuss about his weight. He noted that Crawford doesn't even look that small physically and hasn't had any trouble moving up through weight classes. According to Wade, Crawford is handling the jumps with ease, and the narrative around his size might be more exaggerated than it needs to be.
I was gonna ask you about that. A lot of people making a big deal about the weight. You just walked in here. You don't look like a 54 right now. You're looking a little more solid these days. And I saw, I don't know if this was something I got trolled into on Twitter, but I saw you'd stepped on a scale at 180, around 180-ish.
Yeah.
So you're not having any trouble.
Building on that argument, the Wade concept pointed out that 168 is a big weight class for Canelo Alvarez, and Terence Crawford agreed, noting that Canelo is often the smaller man in his division. Crawford pushed back on the idea that Canelo would have a size advantage over him, saying people are quick to assume Canelo is the bigger fighter just because he fights at a higher weight. He used Tyson Fury's loss to Alexander Usyk as an example to show that size isn't everything.
I just think a lot of people is adopting other people's thoughts.
Okay, the group think.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, a lot of people not thinking for themselves. They just.
You can say that about a lot in today's day and age. You know,
they hear something on social media and then they just run with it.
Ah, man, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I've been known. Canelo, the bigger guy. I've seen Canelo in person.
Yeah.
Even for him, 168 is a big weight class.
Facts, and he's always the smallest person in his division. When you got Usyk fighting Tyson Fury, you know, Tyson Fury was the massive fighter over Usyk, and you know, the bigger guy didn't win.
However, Dimitri Bivol, being one of only 2 fighters to have handed Canelo Alvarez a loss, weighed in on the matchup, calling it an interesting fight. Bivol believes Crawford has what it takes to pull off the upset as long as he sticks to what he already does best. He pointed to movement, distance control, and switching stances mid-fight as key elements that could give Crawford the edge. Coming from someone who's already solved the Canelo puzzle, Bivol's breakdown adds weight to the idea that Bud might just have the blueprint.
Who do you think has more power out of the two?
Canelo, of course, he got used to this weight class more than Crawford. He need to get used to this power, even he's big.
So how does Canelo beat Crawford? Do you think that's a stoppage?
He could beat him, he could stop him. It could happen anyhow, you know, from both of the sides. And Canelo, of course, will try to find some hard punch. I don't know, but I think it's an interesting fight against Crawford, of course. The best fighters in their weight classes, different styles. Just need to do his job, what he's doing well. You know, he's changing his stance, he's moving a lot, you know, he's keeping distance. Like this he could win, of course. Not
with changing punches.
Furthermore, Teofimo Lopez gave his take on the potential clash, calling it a great fight overall, but leaning toward a win for Canelo. While Lopez acknowledged that Crawford might have a slight edge in ring IQ, he believes the size difference would be the deciding factor. He suggested that Crawford should first test the waters against a solid opponent in the super middleweight division before jumping straight into a fight with Canelo.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got? Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yeah.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should try and test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog, he's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out till that day comes.
It's the only way, but I definitely think that it's a great fight overall.
In addition, Caleb Plant noted that Canelo appears to have lost a bit of his sharpness and isn't operating at his peak anymore. He described the matchup as highly stylistic, emphasizing that Crawford brings a completely different set of tools compared to Canelo's last opponent, William Skull. Plant praised Crawford as a special talent and made it clear the fight would be a different kind of challenge for Canelo. As for the outcome, Plant chose not to make a prediction, saying he'll be watching this one purely as a fan.
No, I don't think it's the same Canelo. Not quite, but also I kind of figured it was going to be like that, honestly. You know, I heard Canelo say in the interview, like, I don't really like fighting guys who move around that much like that, and William Skull being a Cuban fighter, like, I knew he was going to do that. It's a stylistic matchup, you know, and William Skull don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight. You know, you may think about it for a second and say, oh, well, there's weight classes for a reason, right? But Crawford's a special guy, you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's going to be a great fight, and I'm just a fan on that one. You know, I just want to see a good fight, and I think it will be.
Building on that, Keith Thurman voiced his skepticism over Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, pointing to Canelo's speed and defensive prowess as lethal weapons. While acknowledging Crawford's talent, Thurman emphasized the challenge that Canelo presents with his power, experience, and ring IQ. He also reflected on the time when Canelo showed little interest in facing Crawford, suggesting the fight once seemed like a risk with minimal reward, comparing it to the scenario of fighting Amir Khan, where there weren't high rewards.
I mean, can he win? Yes. Will he win is the big question, you know, because the potential of speed, high quality defense, you know, we saw it in the last fight. It's those little mistakes that end up having big consequences against Canelo, right? Floyd, Bivol, where's the mistakes? You gotta be, you know, you gotta get that 10 out of 10. You don't make mistakes, you know. It's like Tiger Woods. You don't miss putts, you know. 20 feet out don't matter, you know. You gotta be sharp up against Canelo. Okay. I remember Canelo talking about not wanting to fight Crawford because it just reminded him of fighting Amir Khan, right? Fighting the smaller guy, nothing to really gain, and if he wins, they're just, you know, there's nothing to really say. You know, when you have a legacy like that, he gets to choose what he wants to do with his legacy. What I love about Canelo and his career is watching him evolve after the Floyd Mayweather performance, right? When he was young, when he was, I mean, he's always flat-footed, but when he was young, flat-footed, and didn't have diversity to his style, and he got schooled. And what's the purpose of going to school if you're not gonna learn and get educated? And so when they went back to the drawing board, they didn't go back to the drawing board as a stubborn mule. They said, hey, what can we learn? Maybe there's something to this evasiveness. And just ever since then, you know, it's been Canelo 2.0. And I think we've all enjoyed Canelo 2.0.
As all these voices weigh in, the buzz around a potential Crawford versus Canelo fight continues to grow, and fans are on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting what could be one of boxing's most thrilling showdowns. The anticipation is undeniable. Stay tuned as we watch this saga unfold, because in boxing, anything can happen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on this epic fight and all the latest in the boxing world.